What's going on everyone, Wildcat here bringing you another Pokemon video. In this video I will be discussing why I think trade evolutions are bad. And no, I don't mean the Pokemon that evolve via trade evolutions are bad, I mean the concept of trading Pokemon to evolve is bad. Well, why it may be bad. I don't want to outright say that it's bad, but different people have different opinions depending on who you ask. Now, what is the purpose of trade evolutions? Purpose of trade evolutions that Game Freak intended for was to increase the social interaction. It was to add an extra layer of challenge because, as you know, certain trade evolutions would require certain conditions, and overall it was to help build the community. Now, I can argue that you could achieve all these things without trade evolution, but it would involve trading, yes, but not trading to evolve. So let's go through some of these trade evolutions that there are. This is a list of every trade evolution available. I'm on Serebii.net right now. It's one of the best sites, if not the best site for you to check up your Pokemon information. So this is what I would use as my go-to to check different information about Pokemon. So here we have the Gen 1. Kadabra, Machoke, Graveler, and Haunter all evolve with no special conditions, just by trading. Then we have Boulder, Gerda, still with no items. We have Poliwhirl and Slowpoke that evolve into Politoed and Slowking respectively with the King's Rock. The Clamperl line with the Deep Sea Tooth and Deep Sea Scale. Onyx and Scyther with the Metal Coat. Citra with the Dragon Scale. Porygon with the upgrade. Rhydon with the Protector, Electabuzz with the Electrolyzer, Magma with the Magmarizer, Porygon 2 with the Dubious Disc, Dusclops with the Reaper Clot, Feebas with the Prism Scale, and Karablas and Shelmut with trading with each other. Now, yes, I understand the layer of challenge that they want to introduce, but all of this could be achieved without trading to evolve, as I mentioned before. So if they wanted interaction, in this case, they could have just make certain Pokemon game specific. Like, for example, in Gen 1, you have 3 Pokemon that evolve, you have 4 Pokemon that evolve via trade evolutions. So what we can do is make Pokemon game version exclusive. So in the sense, we could make a Kadabra or Abra available in Pokemon Red and Machop available in Pokemon Blue only. That way you would still have the trading factor but not trading to evolve. Now, what's the difference with this? That means that you could possibly level up a Kadabra within the game in order to get an Alakazam. Because there are a lot of players that wouldn't even consider Kadabra, Macho, Graveler, or Haunter on their team because they can't get the evolution fit. Same with Boulder, same with Gerda, same with any of these. And there are different solutions you could use. So the ones that has trade with no item, you could introduce a level at which they evolve at. Instead of trading with the item, you could have a use fit. So instead of trading, holding it, you could use the King's Rock to evolve Poliwhirl into Politoed, like an evolutionary stone. You could use the Deep Sea Tooth or the Deep Sea Scale as an evolutionary stone, and so on for the rest. And for Shelmut and Karablas, you could just level them up with each other in the party in order for them to evolve. You could have those, right? Now, what is the big problem with this if you don't see a problem with the trading? Now, a lot of people might not have someone that they could reliably trade with. And in the early on, like in generation 1 and 2, not everyone would have access to both a link cable and somebody that they could trade with. In terms of generation 2, I'm using generation 2 as an example because personally I know people who were just turned off by an entire generation of Pokemon, in this case generation 2, because they couldn't get a Steelix or a Scizor, and they were upset because Steel type was a typing introduced in generation 2 and you couldn't reliably get one unless you're counting the Magnemite line, which is an underwhelming Steel type because it's 4 times weak to Ground type, and Ground type is the most common offensive type that there is. So instead of having to hold Wild Trade, you could use these items, right? So all in all, what I'm saying is that if you had made it possible for you to get all of these evolutions in game without trading, you could still have the building community stuff with trading via version exclusives. If you want an extra difficulty factor, you can make these particular Pokemon harder to get or found in special areas, or have like certain tasks in game that you have to do before you can obtain them. There are ways to work around it because a lot of people don't like the idea that I have to trade this to evolve when they could just get it in game. Now I know Game Freak probably had a solution to that later on, because in later games you could actually find fully evolved Pokemon in the wild that required trading. I know Steelix was one of them. There is a way that you could have found a wild Gengar in Pokemon Platinum, I believe. I'm not sure about... actually, I think that's it. I'm not sure about the others. If you could you have found a wild Kingdra? I can't remember, but that might have been another one. But yeah, they did it. I know for sure they did it with Steelix. I know they did it with Gengar. So I don't see the problem with them doing this, but it's just something that I would have brought up because of the same reason, with people saying that entire generations were ruined for them, or people don't like to use certain ones because you can't get it in game without training. I just thought it was an interesting thought. So in the comments you could leave what are your thoughts on trade evolutions. Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're good? Are you neutral about it? If you're unaffected by it or whatever? Just give your opinions because it was an interesting thought. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, goodbye.